what is going on, everybody? This is Beanie, and welcome back to another video. Today, I plan on starting the top 10, the new top 10 series. I already did one earlier in the year, but there are so many new players that I thought it would be a good idea to redo the top 10 lists and see kind of where everybody falls today. And today, we're going to be doing the top 10 catchers. But before I put that video out, I thought that there is a video that I needed to do that has kind of been long overdue. And last night, I spent a lot of time kind of testing this out and confirming the ideas that I already had in my head about which swings work the best and which swings you should look for whenever acquiring a player and which swings you should probably try to avoid whenever getting a player. And so yeah, I just thought I'd make a video telling you guys what types of swings you should look for. And basically, there are 5 different types of swings that you will encounter in Diamond Dynasty. There is a 6th swing, but it's one-handed style, number 4. But it's basically one that you never see. I've never seen a player in Diamond Dynasty with this swing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is like 1 or 2 guys out there that have it, but I've never seen it, and it's pretty inconsequential. So we're not going to be talking about that, but we are going to be talking about the 5 other swings that you will encounter. So let's get into that and which ones are the best. Okay, so the 5 different types of swings that you will encounter are a two-handed compact swing, a two-handed long swing, a one-handed normal swing, a one-handed compact swing, and a one-handed long swing. So whenever looking at these, the one that everybody has kind of figured out that is always amazing, is always gonna provide good results for you is the two-handed compact swing. And this is the one that guys like Corey Seager have, guys like Carlos Correa, as you can see here. Joe Mauer has this one. Ted Williams has this one. For whatever reason, even though I don't really like how it looks aesthetically, it just seems to work the best this year, especially with the new ball physics. It generates a ton of backspin. The ball carries a lot better off of this swing. And overall, it's just the most superior swing in the game, if that makes sense. So, whenever you decide to make your creative player, I would give him one of these batting stances and just use the default swing off of it. Whether it's Joe Mauer, whether it's Carlos Correa, any of those guys, Corey Seager is also a good one. Any of those guys, as long as you get that two-handed compact swing, you should be hitting a lot better with your creative player if you throw that on him. Whenever you're looking for players to fill out your lineup, that's always a huge consideration because, I would rather have a guy, even if his hitting attributes were like 10 points lower across the board than some other guy who has amazing hitting attributes, but he has a bad swing. I would rather have this swing right here just because it really is just so OP in this game. It's fantastic. The second best swing that I've encountered, and it's pretty close between this one and the next one. There's not a ton of difference as far as the production goes between these two. So you should be fine with either one, but they definitely fall behind the two-handed compact. But the first one is the one-handed normal swing. It doesn't generate as much backspin or as much power as the two-handed compact swing, but it still does a relatively good job of it. And the problem is that I haven't really been able to find a ton of guys that have this swing, which is kind of surprising. But one guy that I did notice that had this swing was, where is he? I'm an idiot. I don't know how to do alphabetical order. Is the Gary Sánchez. The Gary Sánchez has a one-handed normal swing, and this is kind of what it looks like right here. It's just kind of sweet through the zone, kind of a level swing, and they finish kind of far back in their stance, and that's the best way to tell between the swing and the one-handed compact swing, which we'll talk about later. The one-handed compact swing has a tendency to finish a little higher in the stance and not as far back. So the one-handed normal swing is definitely a good option, but as far as production goes, it's really not that different than the next one we're going to talk about, which is the two-handed long swing. And in my experience, this is one of the most common swings in the game, is the two-handed long swing. Whenever I was putting together the top 10 list, I think 7 of the 10 guys that I ended up putting on the list end up having this two-handed long swing. Who can we go to? I guess we can go to Buster Posey. Sounds like a pretty good idea. A lot of people have it, but I'm just going to go to the Buster Posey, just to show you guys. But yeah, this is the two-handed long swing right here. And it's very, very important to differentiate between the two-handed long swing and the one-handed long swing, because this one right here is fine. If you ever see someone with the two-handed long swing, I think it's two-handed style 1 in the presets on your create a player thing. But if you ever find anybody with a swing, I wouldn't worry about it. It does generate enough power, and it plays basically average, like right around where their attributes say. It's probably going to be a pretty accurate description of how that guy is actually going to hit, as opposed to the two-handed compact swing, where I actually think they play better than their attributes. But if you have a guy that has a two-handed swing, basically they're going to be fine. They're going to hit the ball well. It's the one-handed swings that you have to sometimes differentiate between and figure out whether or not you want to have that. No, and a lot of the times the answer is no. But the two-handed long swing is fine. You should be fine with it. And but now we're about to get into the two swings that I would look to avoid. Okay, the second worst swing that I would really try to avoid is actually kind of surprising to me, because I always kind of thought at the beginning of the year that if they had a compact swing that it would be okay, that they would hit the ball really well. But it's really not the case. The two-handed compact swing is great, but the one-handed compact swing really isn't all that good. And, biggest case in point is the Diamond Jonathan Lucroy card. Whenever I saw this card, I was like, oh yeah, man, that's going to be a really cheap option to acquire and have catcher, just be good until I get the Joe Mauer or whatever. But the Lucroy always seemed to kind of play below his stats, and I never really understood why until I looked at his swing, and it's the one-handed compact swing. And then I started going across a lot of other players who have this swing, and all of them kind of seem to play below where their attributes would indicate that they should. And I don't really know why, because up until the finish, it looks very, very similar to the two-handed compact swing. But the problem is that it just doesn't generate enough backspin. It generates a lot of topspin. Not as much as the next swing that we're going to talk about, but it does. And it's a lot harder to tap in to your power with a one-handed compact swing, unless they just have 90 plus power against both sides. It's going to be really tough to hit those extra base hits and the home runs. So this is a swing that I would definitely look to avoid most of the time. Okay, and now we are getting into the swing that you definitely want to avoid if you can, and that is the one-handed long swing, the dreaded one-handed long swing. Anytime you see a guy that has this swing, even though I kind of like the way it looks aesthetically, it looks like a pretty good swing, it just doesn't end up working out that way. It generates a ton of topspin, and every single guy that I see that has this swing, especially right-handers, left-handers can get away with it a little bit better. Guys like Eddie Matthews can kind of get away with it, because that topspin can sometimes make the ball drop in front of the right fielder, and sometimes I don't know, it seems easier to beat the shift with a swing like this on a left-hander, but for a right-hander it is devastating. And I'm a little spotty on the reasoning of why it works a little bit better for lefties, but for righties, I just know that it always makes that particular player play worse than his attributes say. Guys like Cal Ripken Jr., guys like the 99 bench, guys like the 99 or the 97 Troy Tulowitzki, all of them have this swing, and it just doesn't produce the power that you think it would. And I hate that, because man, it looks so cool, and but it really does render cards like Cal Ripken not as good as their attributes say they should be. So this is the swing that I would always try to avoid. Early in the year, I had this on my created player just because I liked the way it looked. King Griffey is another one that kind of has a swing like this. Let's go over and look at him. Where is Griffey? Or wait, no, he doesn't. No, he has the one-handed compact. Okay, yeah. So King Griffey doesn't have that swing. Why was I thinking he did? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, the guys like the Cal Ripken, they definitely have, issues with them, and they've always, all year, I've been kind of disappointed with that card because he just didn't hit as good as I thought he would. I thought I had shortstop locked up for the whole year, but that just turned out not to be the case, and this was why, and I had it on my creative player for a long time, and I was never hitting as good. I thought that creative player was kind of nerfed like it was last year, but it wasn't. It was the swing, and as soon as I changed to Carlos Correa's stance and put the two-handed compact swing on, I hit so much better. And so yeah, the one-handed long swing is the one that you really want to avoid. And the reason that I made this video and kind of explaining the swings and which ones are good, which ones are bad, is because I am going to kind of incorporate it, not to a huge extent, but I am going to incorporate it into my rankings of like the top 10 position players and stuff like that. So I will talk about it a little bit when I make my top 10 catcher video later on in the day. And I just wanted to get a video out there, just kind of talking about it, letting you guys know which swings are good and which swings aren't that good. So yeah. That was my purpose for making this video, and be on the lookout later today for the top 10 catcher video because it will be out probably an hour or so after I put this video out. But yeah, guys, hope you are having a great weekend. Hope your team is killing it in college football, unless your team is Tennessee, in which case you can suck a dick because Southern Miss to the top. But anyways, guys, I will see y'all later. Peace.